Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Ainslie News. It's Wednesday, the 17th of November. Today we're talking RBA. Their own policy error comes home to roost. It's becoming increasingly hard for believests to ignore what is so clearly coming in the lucky country, and that directly correlates with Ainslie being increasingly busy, with people buying up bullion and crypto to protect themselves with what's to come. Westpac just raised its rates on fixed-rate mortgages for the third time this month. While 16 lenders have hiked fixed rates twice, including CBA, NAB and ANZ, but the RBA is still saying no rate rise until 2024, and that's their central scenario. Julian Brigden of Real Vision Macro Insiders had a bit to say about our RBA from London in his latest In Focus report. Let's start with Australia, he said, where more pain has been caused than is commensurate with its relatively insignificant size in the macro investment world. You will recall that Australia followed Japan into an experiment with yield curve control, announcing on the 19th of March 2020, in the teeth of what was the first wave of COVID, that the RBA would peg 3-year government bond yields at 25 basis points for the foreseeable future. Australia was seen as the harbinger of things to come in the rest of the developed world. How did that pan out for our friends down under? Not so well. Australia was dismally slow to start its vaccination program. Barely 10% had been vaccinated by mid-May at the beginning of the Southern Hemisphere winter. The government administered one of the harshest lockdown regimes in the world, including an almost total ban on incoming flights, hotel quarantine for those who couldn't avoid needing to enter the country, and other equally draconian measures. Perhaps as a reaction to the depressing lockdown landscape, once vaccinations started, they took off in earnest, and by October had rocketed up to 70%, upon which most measures of freedom returned. Cue the RBA. Despite vociferous contestations to the contrary and some very poor analysis by investment analysts, RBA to maintain that the YCC peg until at least 2023, etc., the policy came under strain from mid-September as the prospects for reopening combined with better economic outcomes. It then broke at the end of October and rates moved sharply higher without really touching the sides. By the time the RBA officially abandoned its ill-conceived yield curve control experiment at their meeting on the 2nd of November, yields had already traded a full 100 basis points over the original 25 BP target. A few charts we're going to show you through our website today if you want to go check them out, just to show how extreme that change was. So what? Well, where else have we had unadministered tightening of interest rate expectations? Almost everywhere, led by the Bank of England, who seemed to get hawkish over-egging market expectations going to the MPC meeting on the 4th of November, only then to get cold feet. Lagarde at ECB got in a tangle about what she should or shouldn't be saying about financial conditions. The Fed wiggled uncomfortably on the hook about what is or isn't transitory before announcing the pace of tapering, which the market has already assumed $15 billion less per month, split 10 less for treasuries and 5 less for mortgages. In other words, the RBA can say all they like. They have lost control of the real market that sets rates for the instruments the banks actually use to lend you money. We discussed in more detail about this recently, with one analyst predicting up to a 25% drop in property prices on just 1% rise in mortgage rates. Those other charts we're going to show you today paint a concerning picture with the number of loans issued with a debt-to-income ratio higher than 6 times, or 600%, continually rising and now a staggering 22%. That this coincides with the rate increase risk, surging consumer inflation expectations and declining confidence, also shown in charts today, must be a little bit more than concerning for the trapped RBA. Heaps of charts to show you there today, guys, so jump in and have a look at them. Little comment from here at Avid Commentator. He tweeted yesterday, the RBA says it will not act to control house prices. APRA says managing house prices is not our job. The federal government says it as a state issue because of supply factors and one of the biggest issues facing Australians, and there is zero responsibility being taken for it by the banks and or the government. Fascinating stuff. Heaps of bubbles popping up everywhere, and gold has just started to move as a result, quite logically so as well. And that's news for today, everybody. If you are looking to buy some physical gold, silver or platinum, jump over to ainslebullion.com.au. Looking at crypto, Ainslie Wealth. If you're in Brizzy, you might have seen one or two of our billboards pop up in the CBD. Pretty exciting stuff. There's a lot of interest around crypto at the moment. So jump over to ainsliewealth.com.au to buy that safely and securely. You can also buy over the counter in our Brisbane and Melbourne offices. And also check out our own cryptocurrency, built backed by real gold and silver, perfect stable coin, or hedge against what's to come. That's goldsilverstandard.com. Enjoy your Wednesday, everyone. We'll catch you tomorrow for more news.